Hey guys, from back over there today. This is part 2 of our how to drive manual transmission tutorial. Today we're going to do heel toe. So before we get there, today I'm wearing my Pelote Super Strata casual driving shoes. Do you need driving shoes to drive stick? Absolutely not. You can drive in sneakers, boots, anything comfortable, even barefoot. But if you want driving shoes, if you drive a lot, they do help, and Pelote is offering a special discount. Use code TSTFAN at drivinggear.com and we'll get you a special discount on Pelote driving shoes or any other of the accessories at Driving Gear. Anyway, heel toe. So basically what heel toe is you have 3 pedals and 2 feet. And you need to operate all 3 of those pedals at the same time using only 2 feet. Your left foot only does the clutch, pretty much. If you're talking, there's highly advanced left foot braking techniques, but that's racetrack stuff. For heel toeing, your left foot only does the clutch. That leaves your right foot to handle the gas and the brake. Okay? Heel toe is a highly specific term, but it doesn't need to be a highly specific act. Meaning, the goal is to operate the brake and the gas with one foot at the same time. So for some people, that means actually using their toe and bending their foot over to the right to use their heel, and which is a technique I have to do when cars are really spaced far apart, the pedals are far apart. Although for some people like me with big feet, it's actually not your heel and your toe. It's actually just the left side of your foot and the right side of your foot. So you can see here, the ball of my foot on the left is managing the brake, and then my right side is blipping the throttle, okay? And that is your motion, brake, throttle. And to be good at heel toeing, you have to do this regardless of light brake pressure, medium brake pressure, or heavy brake pressure. So light brake pressure, here's a blip. Medium brake pressure, here's a blip. Strong brake pressure, there's a blip. Okay, so it's a weird motion. It takes some getting used to, but it's like playing a musical instrument or doing anything. It feels very awkward at first, but the more you do it, the more second nature it becomes. The point of doing heel toe, the point of driving like this. Now, I drive like this all the time. Where I'm on the street, I'm on the track, I'm in traffic. My right foot is always covering both these pedals. The point of heel toe is to drive smoothly. Smooth, as I like to say, leads to fast and not the other way around. So this is how you drive smoothly, by managing your brake. Basically, the left side of my foot and the right side of my foot are doing completely independent actions. And so being able to do that is what we're really going for. Sidebar real quick, guys. Before we get too far into the mechanics of how to downshift properly using heel toe, let's talk about when to downshift or when not to downshift. Here is your tachometer, or at least a hypothetical tachometer I have made up. Down here is where the engine starts to bog. Here is a hypothetical peak torque figure, and here is a hypothetical peak horsepower figure. Now, when you're downshifting, what you want to avoid is going past the red line, right? That's called a mechanical over rev. So if you're here and choose to downshift at 5,000 RPM, you could mechanically, by the motion of the wheels and the clutch, move the engine past its own red line and potentially cause some real damage. That's why they call that a money shift. A mechanical over rev is if you rev the engine using the car's the clutch and the gearbox past its own red line, okay? So you want to take note of the spacing in between your gears. So if you know that there's 1,500 RPM between third and fourth gear, if you don't have that RPM to work with here, you better not downshift. So, 2 scenarios. 1, you're going slowly. 2, you're driving aggressively like in the canyons or on the track. When you're going slowly, you can ride this gear all the way down here, almost to where you bog, and then blip it and go to the next gear down. Like my impression there. When you're going quickly, I like to keep the engine between peak torque and peak horsepower. Now you can look up where those are for your own car, but as you're coming down, I like to downshift so that when I go back into the gear, it's right here at that peak torque when I engage the next gear. So I upshift right around peak horsepower, and I downshift at or just below peak torque. Now back to the mechanics of heel toe. I'm going to demonstrate it. You still need your basic blip. So if you're just cruising and you want to drop a gear to go faster, you can still use your basic blip. So you don't want to forget about that. But as we go down the hill here, I will demonstrate heel toe. It involves basically braking for a corner and then going down to the gear you want to be in to exit that corner. Okay, so here I am. I'm in third gear, going down the hill in the Focus RS, and I'm going to go up to fourth, which is a gear higher than I need to be. Okay, next corner. Brake, blip, and down. That's the motion. As I am doing my blip, that's when I'm moving the lever. Down to second, brake, blip. There we go. Okay? In the first how to drive stick video, I said 7 seconds to release the clutch. And that is true when you're a beginner. The way I drive, it's more like 2 or 3. Because again, smooth leads to fast and not the other way around. The key is smooth. So I'm going to go to second here, brake, blip. There's the downshift, okay? And then back on the gas, back up to third. Oh, need a second. Brake, blip. All right? So I can do that if I have firm brakes, I can blip. If I have light brakes, I can blip. So we're in third, going some back and forth here. And I've got a left-hander. I'm going to go to second, brake, blip, done. Okay, and I'm doing it a little slower than I would normally do it in order to demonstrate. Normally I'd do a little faster, so here's fast. So that's normal speed, okay, for me. But smooth leads to fast. If you can do it slow, so here, it matches. Go up to third. Mid-corner, right? Here's where I want to match it perfectly. In the mid-corner, it's important to rev match perfectly because you don't want to buck the car in the corner and upset the balance. Here's down again. So now I'm going quicker, okay? Oh, I need to brake. Down to third. Down to second. So really all it is getting comfortable with your right foot doing 2 things at the same time. It's like playing drums or playing guitar. You know, your left hand's got to bend in these weird ways while your right hand's picking. That feels weird, but it's just muscle memory. Once you learn how to do that, you get used to it and it becomes no big deal. And that's why I like to say that heel towing is just the way, because I'd rather learn one way. I'd rather teach one way that applies to everything. We're going to go down to second, brake. So that bending of the foot, bending around, is an awkward motion at first. It takes a few weeks, months to practice that. That's a weird motion. But once you get it, here's third. I'm going to go down 2 gears here. Down third and then second. Here's third, brake, second. The point being, you want to be in the appropriate gear for exiting the corner. And that means right in your power band, but not right at your red line, because you need some room to work. Okay, I'm going to go down to second. On light brake, see that? Very easy. You want to be able to do it completely independent of how hard you have to brake. So that's why I say do it all the time. Practice all the time. Light braking, heavy braking. That one wasn't a very good one, I'm sorry. I'm not perfect always either, but just by learning this one technique, you can drive like this in the city, you can drive like this on the highway, you can drive like this in the canyons and on the racetrack without having to change your technique at all. Down to second. And once you get the motions, once you get the timing, then you can go faster and faster. So I always, as I'm coming to a stop, I'll always downshift a couple gears. So here's down to third, and now we're going to go down to second. I don't go to first. I don't ever downshift to first. Downshift to first is really, I mean, unless you're in a very unique car that where you have a very long first gear. I can't make a rule for every car, but in a modern 5 or 6 speed car, you're not really going to first very often unless you're basically stopped. So that is, we'll go a little quicker now. Okay, thank you, truck. Okay, down. Oh, I'm not even in sport mode to make it sound good. Sport mode. All right, so I'm gonna go into 4th gear. Need to go down to 3rd here. Light braking. There we go. And now let's just pretend there's nobody behind me, but we'll go back to 4th gear. Oh, I need to come to a quick stop. See how quick I can do that? That's the heavy braking. And if you're coming in the end of a back straight on a racetrack, same kind of deal. That's your heavy braking. Maybe you've got to go 2 gears down. There, I'm gonna go to 3rd. So it's the inverse. You know, you lift to shift up, you blip to shift down, and then if you're really, you know, if you're proficient and full of practice, then you can use the brake and the gas at the same time, and then you're driving. Then you're really driving. The difference is when people get out of a car with me, they're usually like, oh, you're so smooth. And I'm so smooth because I can heel toe properly. That's kind of the thing. Down to 3rd. So, that is a primer on heel toe driving. I hope that's been educational. I'm sure I haven't covered everything, but as you do, if there's something you want to learn, I'm happy to do a version 2.5. You guys had some really good questions in the first videos about the next steps and such, and so I hope that I've done a good job showing you how I drive heel toe, and you can take that home with you and practice. And then if you want to learn more, you know, leave a comment, and I'm happy to make another video that teaches you the next steps from here. So thank you for watching. Go to drivinggear.com and use code TSTFan if you want to check out some of these really nice Pelote Superstrata or any of the other Pelote line of shoes. Nice discount for the TST fans. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you later.